make sure I got everything in this room, too. Because
Mm.
that's the only place I wasn't looking.
Yeah.
Typically, that's a good indication. It's like, I've learned that lesson as time goes on. If you're missing something, it's probably in the one place you're not checking. Because you can rationalize in your head, oh, why would something be there? Well, you'd be surprised.
Mm-hmm. It's like how in Resident Evil, you can just open up hotel safes and find ammunition in there, and you ask, why would anyone hide ammunition in this?
Because video games! Get back to playing!
Oh, found it!
There it is.
We missed one, that's all.
Alright.
So here's where this is a bit of a good and bad choice of game design, wherein... So, that's a cauldron, and you cook it with fire, so...
But there's no way to tell if you've actually collected the gem out of it or not.
Exactly.
There's no visual indicator.
Yeah, there's nothing... Because you'd think...
I mean, it's a cool idea, like cooking the cauldron and getting something good out of it.
Yeah. But you'd think they'd have something along the lines of smoke coming out of the cauldron once it's...
Or the bottom would look singed or something like that.
Yeah. Just a visual cue that you've been here already.
Yeah. Also, the way this level is out, we talked about consistency in level design in a previous video.
Mm-hmm.
Like, them sort of building up a narrative.
Uh-huh.
There's usually a story that goes on in this world with me. Like, we play through these 3 normal levels, including the ice cavern that comes up here, because that's just the way you go from the beginning of the level back here.
Mm-hmm.
Then you fight the boss, and then you have the flying level after that. It's sort of like the flying level is your reward for completing the rest of the world.
Yeah. Because there's no enemies, and you can just have fun flying around.
Right.
It's sort of it's a fun breather.
It's a difference in kind, I believe is the correct term in game design. Like, it's a level that provides you with a completely different type of gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
It still feels like it fits within the world itself, but it's still a different kind of challenge to help break up the action a little bit, keep everything from feeling stale.
Yeah.
Plus, it's just, you're flying around as a dragon.
What?
That's why I tend to leave those worlds for last in these areas, because then you can treat it like a reward.
Exactly.
It's like, did you eat your dinner? Alright, now you can have your dessert.
You can have your...
Fly around and blow up these barrels for a little bit.
These barrels taste like rhubarb. Rhubarb.
I don't think I've ever actually had rhubarb before.
Oh,
Loves it.
Yeah.
I mean, Tunican loves it. I'm not sure how he feels about people knowing his first name. I've never asked him before.
yeah, it's... I mean, we've said my name we've said one of my names every which way. So...
Go ahead.
So, again, I love how that nice gold gem, that greater amount of currency is just so precariously placed, rewarding you for more daring. Again, maybe not that daring, but there's a bottomless abyss right there.
Yeah, you can see the pit behind it. Also, hang on a second. I just wanted to make sure, like... Also, see those sparkles off in the distance?
Yep.
Another reason they had to have this wide open design. Again, because it's a collect-a-thon, if you're missing things, you want some visual indicators of where they are.
Exactly.
And while we can't render the gem out, we can at least render the sparkle, because it's essentially a paper graphic.
Yeah.
That's not too much processing power.
It's essentially just a white star shape amidst a background.
I realize sometimes I have pangs of self-awareness every now and then. A paper... For those of you who are not familiar with the term...
You okay, buddy?
As soon as I can stop choking on my own stupidity.
Oh, no.
I just had an aneurysm from stupidity. Wow, Vegeta, I didn't know you were that stupid.
Ah! 9 minutes, 18 seconds. 9 minutes, 18 seconds. What's that, Vegeta?
Paper graphic is essentially what you refer to 2D graphics as in a 3D world.
Okay.
It's just like everything else is made up of polygons and shapes and shaders and textures and everything. Paper graphics are just JPEGs, essentially. It's a little more complicated than that. Like, there are usually special formats you gotta roll with. Well, actually, no. Maybe back in the day, but with things like Unity these days, you can just take pictures that you made in Paint, literally Microsoft Paint, and put them in there.
Yep.
Oh, Todor.
Todor! Burning-ate in the ice caverns. Burning-ate in the Norks. Being another dragon.
No, that's us, remember? Todor is actually gonna take a nap today.
Yeah, being 28.
He's gonna fuck off for a little bit while we go do the adventuring.
28 dragons and still none of them help.
That name is just really fun to say.
Todor.
Yes.
Todor.
What are some of your favorite words to say? Just really emphatic phrases that are a ton of fun.
One of my favorite words? Let's see, what is one of my favorite words to say? Blagunga.
Wait a second, I remember this. Because it's ice, you can push him around.
Exactly. In fact, everybody watching, remember those big guys we found in Dark Hollow that had armor, so we had to flame their backs.
You can also do that with those guys?
Mm-hmm. Well, not those guys. Those guys are actually armored completely. They're a little smarter.
Ah, okay.
But because they're wearing metal all over their bodies.
Yeah, they're really heavy.
And
they're slippery. They don't have any traction.
Exactly. So, you can actually charge those guys.
This is leading off into a... No, actually, this is a dead end.
Mm-hmm. It's like the Greyhounds in the Toasty level. There was a different, more obtuse way of thinking when encountering them.
Mm-hmm.
Because normally you think, okay, they're dogs. They're going to try and bite you. No, they're going to body slam you. Well, look at these big guys in armor. Shouldn't I... Well, I don't know what I can do. Well, try charging them anyway.
Because flame clearly doesn't work.
They've
got metal everywhere, so they're just going to block any flame breath you send at them. And again, your tool set is so simple that it requires relatively little trial and error to figure out what you're actually supposed to do in most situations.
Exactly.
And you've got like 3 hits to work with before the next one will be lethal. So typically you have a lot of leeway.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Sparks.
Actually,
Oh, come on, Sparks.
Remember what we just said?
Oh, right. Looking around a little bit.
Actually, think back to the armored guy.
Oh. Got it.
This is one of the few places where we actually encounter something like this.
Also, this right here.
Yes, I love this.
Wow, what's down there, I wonder?
The end.
Why don't you take a look, Spyro?
Oh, God. You know the phrase of you stare at the abyss, it stares back? That's happening just Spyro's experiencing all of that.
Just a bunch of... What's down here, I wonder? Well, there's the first death of this run-through.
I hope you're all enjoying it.
I didn't even mean to do that. I was going to make a joke about purple Kool-Aid being everywhere. Thanks, Gabe.
You'd think I'd be the first one to launch us off a cliff.
A higher-end gem hidden in a little corner there.
Mm-hmm. Just telling you...
And because of the way the level is set up, it's like, hey, look over here. You see this path? You see the direction you should go? Yeah, that's cool, but...
Take a look over here, though. Look at the magic over here.
I like how we're starting to encounter enemies. They throw projectiles, but they have a wind-up to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can clearly see that's what they're gonna do.
Exactly.
And again, like we said, because of the whole health bar mechanic, you have time to learn. Like, even if they throw a snowball or two, you learn that that's what they're gonna do in the future. Again, they're slowly building up to what we were talking about way in the beginning.
Yeah.
But anyways, I mentioned this a little earlier. Your favorite words to say. I think I'll start this off. Idiom.
Idiom?
Belligerent. That's another good one.
Ooh.
Copious.
Excellent.
Excellent. That's a good one. I mean, that's just a positive context to begin with.
But it feels so good saying it.
Excellent! Especially if you give it that Bill and Ted emphasis.
Oh, yes.
And follow it up with a guitar solo. This one I actually borrowed from the Aristocats. I use it all the time. Crime a niddly!
Ooh, I've not heard that one in a while.
This is so precarious because you have to charge to hit these.
But you see the big death Kool-Aid beneath you.
Yes.
It's like that pink ooze from Ghostbusters 2.
No. You see all those black spots? That's just straight up poison.
Yeah. They just took a bunch of Gengar and juiced them.
Yeah, we were looking at that the other day. Because I don't plan on playing the rest of the game, I looked up a video of all of the Z moves in Pokemon Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
The poison one, like Acid Storm or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Shit's fucked up. You straight up dissolve somebody's Caterpie.
With acid rain. That thing was being scorched and seared and skinned to death.
And yet it's E10 for everybody.
You know,
I like to think the Pokemon devs are just having a laugh most of the time. They're just trying to see what they can get away with in games. Like, if you've read, there are plenty of videos out there talking about creepy Pokemon entries.
like Hypno, who can hypnotize and kidnap children. Basically every parent's worst fear.
This one eats your children. This one kidnaps your children. This one
eats and kidnaps and eats your children.
It's called Darkrai.
Yeah. No, Darkrai gives them nightmares. Drifloon takes your children away and eats them. Ragnar the Blood Edge.
Some dragons thought you weren't ready.
Then you got...
These are the adventures of Ragnar... No. What was that old X-Play bit?
Oh, crap.
The Barbarian. Grabnar the Wanderer.
Yeah, Grabnar the Wanderer, yes.
That's still the home of one of my favorite lines ever in television. Which is, they fought for 7 days and 3 nights. That one always takes people a second to understand why it's funny. And I think that's why I like it, because it's kind of cerebral.
Oh, 7 days and 3 nights.
Let me spell it out a little bit. We've been at this for what, like 10 hours? You want to take a break, meet up tomorrow? Yeah, alright.
7 days, 3 hours.
It's like they're only human. So we're just gonna take a break for a little bit, maybe grab a hotel room. We'll just meet up back here. Well, oh, what about the princess? Yeah, you can keep her for now. I haven't earned her yet.
Oh, I get you now.
It's like one of those very human things in what's supposed to be a very epic fantasy story.
And it's just like, the epic battle? Okay, then we pushed it a little too far. Let's
wind things down a little bit. We kind of got in over our heads here.
Let's get Asher Kutcher over here.
Like, maybe by day 7, they're just like, one of them is just so sick of the fight. It's sort of like a Family Guy thing. Whoa, hang on a second. What are we fighting for?
I don't know, like...
You know what? I have completely forgotten.
Like coupon or something? Oh, man. Did I hurt you? I'm really sorry. Nah, I'm cool.
Let me at least take you out for dinner or something.
Freaking Ernie the chicken.
I'll say this, when that show got it right, it really got it right.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't have gotten as big as it did if it was bad, you know?
Exactly.
There always was something there, and to an extent there still is. It's just... Even the recent Road 2 episode wasn't that great, from what I understand.
Yeah... Yeah, what I think one of the biggest problems Family Guy has isn't so much... I think Family Guy is facing a bizarre funhouse mirror version of what The Simpsons go through, in that they are just so popular, such a mainstay, and just have to be on it so consistently for so long that eventually, like any creative facet, they'll encounter some kind of burnout.
You just run out of jokes eventually.
Run out of
Like,
ideas.
you've done
and
everything you've wanted to do with these characters, and you feel like you just want to move on.
Yeah, I want to try something new, but go a little different. But people want it to stay, and unfortunately...
I mean, that's why we got that extra season of Kim Possible.
Yeah.
It was cool, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I like that show as much as the next guy, but the movie kind of wrapped up everything very well.
Yeah.
Like, I would have been happy with either ending.
Yeah, Kim Possible, I will say they had the benefit of, it feels like when Kim Possible was supposed to be at its end and they kind of forced it along, they decided, let's try to just squeeze in just a few more cool ideas. That's why the last
Let's
season...
wrap up all the loose ends so that
Yeah.
this won't happen again.
Exactly. That's why they ended with like a nice hour-long episode where they just straight up fight aliens. Like, yeah, you know how...
I don't know what I'm missing in this stage, but it might actually be faster for me to just leave the world and come... Oh, there it is.
Oh, yeah, we need to get over there. Okay.
Yes, okay.
See again how this game's exploration concept and how the tight level design helps you to you can be at many points in the game and it'll say, hey, you tried looking over here, and boom, you'll see a point.